Going. Hey, yo, welcome back to Mossel podcast. We are tonight live, guys, and we are back with uNthabi Umxhosakazi. She's also a podcaster. So yeah, tonight we'll be chatting with uNthabi. She's gonna be telling us more about what she does, who is uNthabi. So if you don't know uNthabi, this is your chance, like, get to know uNthabi. Very much. Hi uNthabi, how are you? Okay, I think she's kinda experiencing some trouble so that we can get uNthabi back on the screens. There she is.
I cannot believe this is happening right now. But
I'm sorry
hello,
about that.
everybody. Hello.
How are you, uNthabi?
I am pretty tired, but I feel quite excellent. How are you?
I'm also good, man. You do this every week. You're not supposed to une nerves or something.
Yeah, I have nerves all the time, Gasada.
Relax. We just want to know you. Who is uNthabi? Before we waste any time, I just want to I just want you to tell us more about yourself. Who is uNthabi? Where is she from? And what is it that you do?
All right. So Ntabi's full name is Ntabeleng. No, I am not Sutu. My mother just likes things, so I guess my name is there for decoration. I am completely like Xhosa. My mother's side, my father's side, all Xhosa. So I don't know. Don't come
Okay.
worrying to me because I won't understand. um, and what I do is I am a student. First of all, I study a BCom General, majoring in industrial psychology, and
Mm-hmm.
I am an MC and presenter, as well as a co-business owner. So
Okay.
yeah, and I stay. Where do I stay? I stay in Kailicha, but I grew up kind of all over the place. Um, but from since I was born until like the age of 5, I was in Kailicha by my mom's house, and then I
Mm,
moved to Durbanville, with my where my mother worked as a domestic worker. So those
yeah.
people like offered to pay for my school fees and stuff. So they stayed in Durbanville. They moved to Cape Town. Then they moved to the southern suburbs. So I just moved
Mm,
along with them, and then throughout high school, I was in Stellenbosch because I was at Renish Girls High School, a boarding school.
okay.
Then my first year at university, I stayed in Bala, and then I moved back to Kailicha, where my sister is staying, in my second year, and I've been here ever since.
Okay. Wow. I feel like we have a lot to talk about. So yeah, before I can get to what people know you about, I just want to get into a bit of your background. I mean, how was it when you like growing up? What kind of a child can you say that you were growing up?
Yo, I was a sassy child, I'll tell you that. Like, I think from my memory, from my memory, I remember having my neighbors call me Beyonce, and then I'd dance for them and like do a single
Okay.
ladies whole situation dance because I was like, I am Beyonce, I have got all the talent. And
Yeah.
I was obsessed with like following my sister and brother everywhere they went. I've gotten lost, I think, twice following them. Luckily, I
Mm.
was found by random people. Um, and then I think going into a new environment where there's like a lot of white people, I was still learning how to speak English. It was really
Uh,
difficult to fit in. So I think I became more quiet and more reserved during that
mm.
time, and a lot like I tried to fit in so much into that whole space or in that world that I was in at the time that I did lose
Yeah,
myself,
yeah.
and I was just like trying so hard to fit in that I didn't even know who I was at some point. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, going back into high school, there were a lot more. It was a lot more diverse. I had my group of friends that I could relate to at up to some extent, and that was nice. But I was still like slowly, getting to know who I am, what I like, having my own opinions and my own decisions. Um, and I got a bit more sassy then. Then I was like, okay, I was quite a lovable person. I was a people's person. People's person, is that correct? Yeah. So people loved me. I loved people. I loved entertaining people. Maybe that's where the whole MCing presenter situation came in. Yeah, and then when I moved back to Ekailicha, I think that's when I was able to actually, sit down, get to know myself, because I did not want to come back here at all. Like I was so absorbed into this whole world of like being in the suburbs, getting what I want. Yeah, well, like everything was just easier. So I had to go back to
Go back to the life of taking a taxi.
No, you know what I mean? Like I can't just be like, oh, can I please get money to Uber, or let me just Uber to you, or like I feel like going out for dinner, guys, let's go out. It's not that easy, you know what I mean?
Times whereby Uber doesn't want to come into Kailicha.
Yo, they're like, where you stay? Kailicha, Harare, you? I saw Zagalok. And I'm just like, yo, this is so hectic. Yo, I'll only have to pay extra, then maybe they will come. But yeah, no. I think it's a blessing though coming back here, because I had the space. My sister is a very, I don't know, she's an open person, so she allowed me to rediscover who I am. She gave me the opportunity, and she pushed me like to challenge myself and really, step out of my comfort zone, see what works for me, see what doesn't work for me. And through that, I was able to find my passion. And like I was already in university that time, when I was like, I actually want to be in entertainment, because then I would have studied something else. I would have applied for other things, but I just applied for the same thing because I was like, maybe there'll be some interest in there. But yeah.
Going into hot topics with uNthabi. I think I saw your interview with this one other guy, and then I followed you on Instagram. I was like, okay, wow,
yes.
she does what I'm doing, so why not?
Yeah.
And then I took interest. I watched some of the episodes that you were doing. I was like, okay, how about let's get her on the podcast? I mean, I feel like as much as she's doing the questions, Mara, she also needs to be asked.
I'm so honored though, because I've always wondered, I'm like, maybe one day, I'll just be asked to be interviewed, So here I am now. That one day is today.
Yeah. Getting to hot topics with uNthabi, when did you decide to like start a Instagram page? Because I believe you're only on Instagram, right?
On Instagram, Facebook. I've only started getting more active on Facebook.
My interviews. Instagram.
Yes, quite a few of them. My most recent ones are. My older ones are on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely check it out, because I saw you on Instagram. I was like, okay, I'm very much interested to what you're doing. So how about I get on the podcast? So yeah, when did you decide to like start hot topics with uNthabi, and why did you decide to like, do what you do?
Yeah. So last year, last year? Okay, the year before, December. So 2020 December, I moved back to Kailicha. Then around May, so I was starting, to get really used to May 2021. Started getting used to, being here, checking the vibes out, what's going on. And my sister used to go to a lot of events, like for her work and everything. So I'd just tag along, just to see what it's all about. And through that, there was one event that I went to called Advance. It was an event for Advance Academy here in Kailicha. And then I actually it was like a whole fashion show. Then there was an MC there. Then there were a few performances, and just we getting more educated about advanced what they do and everything, and there was a bit of a market situation going on as well. So I was so like intrigued by everything that's going on. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like the Taliban in Denje, like, yo, this is so, like you know. So I was there, and I actually met Uma Kalanjalo and Bravo Laru, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is so cool. Like these are like celebrities. Like, whoa, this is like, I was even shaking when I was like, oh, can I please take a picture with you? I was like, why do I feel like this is my first time even seeing these people? And I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So from there, I told my sister, I was like, this is so cool. Like, even the MCs, you know, having them like, you know, operate the whole event, making sure everything is in order. Like, it was just really cool. And it got me
Yeah.
thinking, like, what if I just tried something like that? Now, my sister has been pushing me for the longest time to just enter any, like, you know, there was Nickelodeon was having a competition kind of a thing where they were trying to get a presenter for one of their shows from South Africa. And my sister
Yeah.
showed me, because it played this year. So my sister showed me, she's like, you see this girl? She was picked from that whole competition that I said you must enter. She's got dreadlocks. She's literally, it could have been you. And I was like, damn. But I didn't want to listen to it at the time because, you know, I was a bit occupied trying to be someone I'm not.
Yeah.
Um, then I told her, I was like, you know, maybe I should actually try this whole speaking thing, you know. That's when I joined this international public speaking program called Toastmasters. The most intimidating thing ever, because wow, speaking in front of people is not my thing. I can't even put my hand up in class like and ask a question. So that was just a lot for me. But I grew from that, and I told my sister I want to, you know, enter a lot of these competitions, try it out, but I don't know if I enter, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't have experience, I don't know, like Zotalapi. And she's like,
Yeah.
then create your own thing, Galoko, practice from your own things. You have resources, so just use what you have. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's an idea. And that's just how it started. And we just
Yeah.
brainstormed names. This was at literally like at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm about to go to sleep. And then we just spoke about this, and I was like, okay, cool. The next day, I'm starting this. So I started it as my first video was actually on Instagram. I just did a normal video, and then I uploaded on Instagram. And I was just talking about upcoming songs or newly released songs.
Yeah.
And also upcoming events. So yeah, that's basically what I spoke about, and I called it Hot Topics with uNthabi. And it went from there, and people just contacted me to ask to be interviewed. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe this could be, you know, a segment
This
of
is
Hot Topics with
something
uNthabi.
onto something.
Yeah, you see what I mean? I was like, okay, something's cooking. So as I'm going, I'm just trying to explore a bit more and see what I can do, what
Yeah.
other segments I can add to the show, just things like that, and also how I can grow as well.
Yeah. I don't want to lie. I love what you do. When the first time when I saw her, like, wow, she's a natural on the screens. In fact, I could give you a job to come and co-host this podcast. If
Thank
I
you
had
so
the
much. I
means,
appreciate it.
if I had the means, I'd take you and be like, "Can you please be my co-host, or can you please
You
come
know
and?"
how I'd come running. I'd be like, say less. I'm coming.
But yeah, also what I want to know is that how has it been like you started the podcast and you now on the journey or like the hot topics with uNthabi? How has it been? Do you like enjoy, and also what are the difficulties or the challenges that you have met while building your own brand? You understand?
Okay. My first challenge, I think, that I faced with Hot Topics with uNthabi is having someone interested in, you know, being a part of the team. Because
Mm.
they have a camera crew, they work in a film, whatever. And
Yeah.
like the one guy approached me and he said, you know, we are interns at this film company, and we have the opportunity to actually, you know, explore more with their equipment so that we can better our skills. So I was wondering if we could collaborate. You need, better quality, to create a whole kind of a show. So I was like, okay, this is actually sounds pretty awesome. We're both learning, we're both, improving ourselves, helping each other out, as well. So we tried it once. It didn't end up working out, although it was a great experience, I have to say. I was already like, I was standing on the rooftop and I was seeing myself there on some ETV show, like, yo, okay, I see this. But yeah, it didn't work out due to just inconsistency, having to always remind other people in the team, okay, please make sure to do this. It ended up seeming like they were doing me a favor, so I had to, just let them decide whatever they want to do at their own time. So I decided to just step back, go back to basics, and just do my old original thing.
Also, please do tell us, is there someone that you're now working with on hot topics with uNthabi, or you uzmele like?
It's just me.
Just uNthabi.
Yes.
Wow, wonderful.
I do want to have like my own show on TV called Hot Topics with uNthabi one day. I'm just still trying to figure out how that's going to work. Yeah, I mean, we all have goals with whatever that we're doing. So I would actually like to have a team one day and everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and my other challenge is having to travel to somewhere or accommodate someone that you're interviewing without really budgeting for this, you know what I mean? And they're also not paying. So it becomes not a loss, but it does get a bit tricky sometimes when I don't have the funds maybe to travel closer to them, or sometimes I use my sister's phone for filming because it's a bit of a better quality. So I have to take my sister's phone, and maybe let's say I have to go to Woodstock. I end up sleeping there because we end up like chilling for too long, and then I can't get back home, that kind of thing. So just those are
uNthabi, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Okay.
Sorry, I lost you for a moment.
Yeah, I realized. So it's that thing of ukuzimela that I think is quite a challenge at times, because I can't rely on someone else. I have to kind of juggle everything at the same time. Sometimes my posters don't even look that great. It's just that, okay, here just to let people know, that this is happening. Because I'm juggling quite a few things as well, so I can't put my all into this show.
Yeah. And when I understand what you're saying, because I'm also a podcaster, so sometimes it can be just too much, Jay.
Yeah. And also like this content, when you're thinking, okay, I want to add something more spicy, I want to do this, but you're like, I don't have the means, I don't have the resources, so we're just gonna
become too much.
Yes.
And you also told us that sorry, my voice is a bit down today. It's been a heavy week.
Don't worry.
So you also told us, you also do MC, and I've seen also interviews whereby you go to events and like interview. Okay, how did that come about? Because you were like studying on Instagram, and then you went from like interviewing people at events and being an MC. How did that come about?
So it was literally just as I said, of going with the process, like testing different things out. At the event, the STEMroll event, where I was able to interview other people, there's actually a bit of a funny story of even how I even got there. Like, it was actually a blessing in disguise, even though I fucked my way there, but it is a great experience. I actually contacted UMxhosakazi and he was able to get me to the event
I
because it
saw
was like a whole
that. I
competition
saw
winning
this
thing.
interview. That's why I realized that when you are big, when
I know.
I saw
No,
that.
I think it's just a thing of like really stepping out of your comfort zone. You're like, okay, it's either they're gonna answer or they're not going to, you know.
Yeah,
Putting yourself out there, you have got to just approach someone, you know. Um,
yeah,
being able, how Musa and I actually know each other, I did a few videos like with his music and I tag him in it. And then he was once on Instagram live. So then I requested to join and then he accepted. He was like, you know, I've actually been seeing you a lot on my Instagram. So it's
yeah.
actually good to see your face now. I was like, oh, okay. So that is just a nice like situation, you know, and it's a rewarding
Yeah,
feeling, you know, being able to put yourself out there. Some people will reject you, some people will just ignore, and some
yeah.
people actually allow you and welcome that kind of energy. So I got to the workshop and I was sitting with Blue K and we were chatting. She's like, you know, it'd be so cool if you did like an interview type of situation, like you interview me with, you know, show the stem roll, whatever. I was like, oh, child, you know, the creativity is creating. So then during our little break, we were like, okay, you're gonna be the first one that I interview. We did it quickly. Then I was like, actually, I'm going to carry on with this. Then I approached Slicker. I was so scared to approach Slicker. Like, he looks like a serious person, but he's actually so sweet. I was just like, hello, Puti. My name is like a quick little introduction. May I please just quick seconds, you know, 2 seconds. And he was rushing to the airport as well. It was just a whole situation. But
Yeah.
yeah, like it was a great opportunity. And the people who are organizing the event, they actually approached me. They're like, also, like, what publication do you work for? I'm like, yo, guys, if only you knew, it's just me and a phone. Like, I'm just, you know, trying this thing out. And they're like, wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Like kudos to you, you know, for being able to do something like that. Cause I mean, what the heck? So that's just how that worked out. Um, yeah, I think it's just putting yourself out there, stepping out of your comfort zone. I even approached the marketing guy for Stimroll and I was like,
Mm.
hi, I know you don't know who I am, but you know, that doesn't matter. It's fine. I'm just letting you know if you ever need like I'm not a huge influencer person, but you know, I do have some kind of influence on people. I have this Hot Topics
Fine.
with uNthabi page. I'm an MC as well, you know. If you ever need anything, hit me up. Then they actually ended up following me on Instagram. So I'm hoping that something happens in J. But
Yeah,
Stemroll hits me up
definitely.
for something like
Definitely
that.
something is gonna happen. I mean, we don't do these things just G. I mean, we
Yeah,
are going somewhere with this. I mean,
exactly.
yeah, we are actually going somewhere. So also uNthabi, tell us what are the plans from here? I mean, we do see you, we do realize you who connect gaming and you doing excellent job. And so what are your plans with our hot topics with uNthabi and MCing? So yeah.
Okay. My plans of Hot Topics with uNthabi is to, well, even emceeing actually. So I do have a business. I have a business with my sister called Speak to Inspire. That is, we teach young children, like the youth, public speaking. And it comes with like a whole bunch of skills. This year we've worked with Curo, Cosset High, and there's this other like private university that we've worked with as well, and then we also had our own like children that we met up with on Microsoft Teams.
Okay.
So we're trying to grow that more, and I think through that I'll be able to, you know, get through corporate, like if we work with different companies, because we are trying to expand into having more focused like workshops, maybe like what's it, how to pitch your business in a certain amount of time, what you need to include, like all of like just specific things for self-development, you know, maybe a leadership workshop. uh I don't know, I can't think right now, but you know, different kinds of just more focused workshops for the, like, you know, people my age, the older group. all of that. And through that, I think I'll actually be able to get through to corporates, to MC maybe the end of year functions. If they have certain events that they're hosting, I could be their MC. And that's something that I also plan to actually do with my sister if they need 2 people. And another thing with that is it's quite an exciting thing because I know it's going to challenge me, because my vocabulary, my English needs to be Englishing, like all of those things, because you're more corporate. But yeah, and with Hot Topics with uNthabi, like I said, I want to have my own show. That's like the main goal for me right now. But as of right now, I just want to be able to save up to get a camera, maybe 1 or 2 people added to my team to help me out. Yeah, like I wanted to grow slowly, because I do want to, once I have my own show, I want to know exactly how I want everything to be set, how I want to be speaking, what I want to be including in the show, like the different segments. I want like to have everything proper before I can be on TV. On my show, obviously. If any other shows get, guys, me, I am there, like, hit me up. But yeah, and for MCing, I have MC'd for, a few events, like I've shown on my Instagram, and it was quite fun. So I think that's for more like my enjoyment. So wherever I can get a spot to MC, like I would love that. I think it's so enjoyable to me, being around people, hyping them up as the hyper upper I am, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you hype Hashem to mom. So yeah, I'd love to like.
Sorry, I have an additional thing. I have one more thing to add. Since it's also, I think it was a bit more challenging to focus on the 3 other things that I do on the side, because of school, because I'm actually a full-time student. So I'm not able to, balance everything that well. So since this is my last year, I'm so excited to be able to actually pay a lot more attention to my other things, So I think it would work out a lot better, next year going forward, my growth. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm looking at the time and I feel like we still have a lot to talk about, but unfortunately, because of time, I cannot.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely hit you up on the DMs, and if there's something that we need to talk about or maybe work on. Otherwise, I must say again that I love the work that you do, and I just hope that you keep growing, man. And I really hope that God gives you the strength, like, to continue with whatever you're doing. Yeah, man. I wish I can say a lot of things. I wish I can ask you more, because there's more interesting things that I want to ask you. But because of time and because of, we can never really finish up everything. But yeah, thank you for agreeing to this interview. All the best, man. That's all I can say
Thank
for
you
now.
so much. Thank you for having me on the show. I feel super duper special. Thank you for the time. Like, I really enjoyed myself. The nerves just flew away somewhere.
And I must say, you're an awesome guest. I think you're better as a guest. But yeah,
I am so much, I'm so keen on being a guest more, even if you talk about how the trees grow. So don't worry. I just love talking.
We're definitely gonna have this some time when times go by, and we're gonna have a chat, man.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity. Thank you very much, uNthabi.
Thank you so much.
Have yourself a good evening then.
You too. Bye.
Bye.